What's up, Mavericks? Hope you're having a great day today. I am jacked for this video for two reasons. One, we're doing one of my favorite things of all time, and that's going to a brand new body of water that I've almost spent zero time on and chasing giant bass. If you guys like that kind of video, I think you're gonna like this one. Oh, and the second reason that I'm pumped for the video today is a couple weeks ago, I made a change to this beautiful little Triton bass boat right back here behind me that has completely changed the fishability, how much I can go out, how long I can go out, and the performance of this boat. And you guys had no idea that I even made the change. Before I tell you what that is, I gotta give you a quick backstory, and a lot of you guys already know this backstory, and that is when I got my brand new Phoenix bass boat and this Triton bass boat right back here behind me, they both came stock with a 36-volt trolling motor system and a 12-volt starting battery system, and those were lead acid batteries. So they came with four batteries, four big heavy lead acid batteries, which has been the standard for decades in the fishing industry with these new boats. And the lead acid batteries were the only batteries that I personally had any experience with in my first couple boats. Well, the thing about the lead acid batteries is, if you're not a fisherman that goes out a lot, maybe you go out once a week, twice a week, or even once a month or less, they're gonna be fine for you. If you're not fishing a tournament and running graphs and your live wells, or even out on the water for like 12 to 15 hours like we are a lot of days, you're gonna be fine at least for a while. And then every year, every couple of years, you're just gonna have to end up replacing all four batteries. Well, I fish a ton. You guys know this. I fish 4 to 7 days a week, every single week, and a lot of those days are crazy long on the water, and I was having massive issues with my batteries. You guys might not believe this, but I've changed all of the batteries 3 times since I got this boat right back here, all of them interstate batteries, because they get too low that they won't take a charge, and that repeatedly happens over and over. So you got to take them in, and then they put them on their special charger, and then you got to come back a couple days after that at the interstate place. And again, that might be fine for some people, but for people like me that are constantly trying to be on the water, constantly trying to edit content, get new content, that doesn't work anymore. So I had to find a change, and I didn't even have to look very far, because I was actually contacted by the company Eternal Lithium. Eternal Lithium is a brand new lithium battery company. If you guys have followed along with the lithium battery craze, and not just in boats, but in automotives and really in anything that needs batteries, ice fishing, little batteries, stuff like that, then you know the benefits of lithium. But if you're not familiar, well, they're extremely light and they have substantially more power than lead acid battery. The dudes at Eternal Lithium reached out to me. They said, we love the channel, we want to support the channel, we want to support the MFer Nation. We're gonna hook you up with some of our batteries to go out and try. But don't just make a video promoting them and talking about how they're the greatest thing in the world. Actually go out, use the batteries, make sure they're right for you, and then report back, give your fans, give us the feedback we need to let us know if they're gonna work, not just the day that you put them in your boat, but over a long period of time. Now, I've thought about getting lithiums for several years, but I haven't for a couple reasons. One, they're crazy expensive. They're way more expensive than your traditional batteries. At least they were at first anyway. They've come down substantially in price since they first kind of hit the bass boat scene 5 to 8 years ago. The second reason that I haven't gotten lithium batteries is, well, I've heard the horror stories about boats catching on fire from batteries exploding or overheating, and I just didn't want any part of that, because that kind of goes back to me not having the time to go swap out batteries all the time. I don't really have time to get my boat fixed or replaced in the shop for months and months and be out of commission from a boat. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to batteries, but after talking for months with Spencer from Eternal Lithium, he filled me in on the stuff that they have done with their technology over the years, that they will not blow up, they won't overheat. The chargers are like smart chargers. I'll show you those in a second, but they're Bluetooth enabled, so you can check them on your phone, and as soon as they're filled up and they're fully charged, they will not keep charging and overheating your battery. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give it a go if I don't have to worry about that and you guys want to hook us up. So before we start the fishing here, let me show you the battery hookup I got from Eternal Lithium, and just tell you why I got what I got and the benefits, really. I didn't film any type of video ripping the lead acid batteries out of here. It's not rocket science. There was 4 batteries and I took them out of the boat. That's the end of the story. And then I put these ones in. Yeah, rocket science. Well, let me show you how they're configured. So I have a cranking battery, a 12-volt, 100 amp hour cranking battery. It's a deep cycle cranking battery, and a 36-volt, 80 amp hour battery that I use for my trolling motors. Then right over here, these two guys are my chargers. So that's the charger. The bigger charger is for the 36-volt, the smaller charger is for the 12-volt. So the way this used to be set up was I had 2 big 31 size lead acid batteries here, Then I had my starting lead acid battery right there, and then another cranking battery over there. And then my charger for the battery system was right here as well. It was honestly probably close to half the size, or if not more, of this 36 volt battery, and it was crazy heavy, probably weighed the same. Let me show you this real quick. Like I said, the batteries are actually Bluetooth connected, so you can check on them while they're charging from your hotel room or bedroom or whatever, see how far along they are. This is my 36 volt battery, and so you can pull up, see what it's doing. You can see right there, 100% health. I just put it on the charger for a while. Status is it's static, which means it's not putting out anything. Health is perfect. You can tell your temperature, how much voltage it's got, the current that's running through, how many life cycles it's got, everything. And then we can go back to the 0009 is my smaller 12 volt battery. And that's at 96%. I was just playing some tunes, so that's probably what that's all about. So the benefits of these lithium batteries are two things. One, they're way more powerful and they last substantially longer. So I cannot run these out as far as I can tell from the couple weeks of trips with them. I'm gonna be using them in today's video. Fully charged them the night before, and you're gonna see at the end of the video how much charge is left. And not only do they last longer, I noticed immediately with my trolling motor, it actually gave it more power than my my regular lead acid batteries were giving it. So it literally, it goes faster. My trolling motor does. The big engine's cranked over like right away, super quick. I can tell it's just putting out substantially more power. And if you guys have followed the craze of putting 4, 5, 6 screens plus 360 plus Panoptics in multiple locations, multiple Panoptics units, you need a lot of power in that starting battery to run that all day long. Time is only going to tell if this battery will hold up to the test, and you guys are just flat out gonna hear updates from me and let you know whether it just didn't work at all or it's badass as I think it's gonna be. And the second big giant benefit of these Eternal Lithiums over my regular lead acid batteries is a weight reduction. When I added up the weight of those 4 lead acid batteries plus the charger, and then I added up the weight of this 36 volt, 12 volt, and the 2 small chargers that come with the lithium pack, I ended up with 170 pounds less weight in my boat now. And there is a noticeable difference in speed, handling, whole shot, everything with this boat already. Can't tell you how much I love that. Like I said, it's gonna be all about if these things hold up over time, and I'm gonna let you guys have updates constantly because I don't wanna pump something that doesn't work. But at the same time, I wanna give a shout out to Eternal Lithium, how badass these batteries are and how awesome they've been so far. Oh, and like I said, they wanna help out MF Nation. If you guys are familiar again with the lithium industry, there's like no discounts. You can't get them for cheaper ever. They want to hook you guys up with a discount, so use code MF10. If you can use that, you'll save 10% if you guys want to switch over to lithium batteries for all the reasons that I just listed. I'll link them at the top of the description. Brand new company, tons of technology, engineers behind the company, so they're not going to blow up. You guys should check them out. Okay, let's go rip some lips. So it's fall here in Texas, pretty much dead middle of fall. Water's about 68 degrees, this lake I went to. And I've only been here for about 3 hours total. So it's kind of a crapshoot going here, but I know it's got giant fish. The one thing I do know is this lake is chock full of bait fish, shad to be exact. So little threadfin shad, I'm sure there's big gizzards too, but especially this time of year, more so than about any other time, the fish get extremely bait fish oriented. So we're gonna scan around right now, and the stuff I'm looking for is some of the most predominant main lake points and humps. Oh man, I already found something here, guys. Check this out. Little tire pile action. And then right next to that, look at these guys. Those almost look like crappie. They're definitely in kind of like a stake pile, but some of those marks look much larger than crappie. I don't think we're gonna scan much more. Get the old net out. Let's see what the watercolor's like. Weird, it's like tannic. That's always interesting. Probably 2.5 foot visibility, so not super clean water, but I like to throw a swim bait, a bigger size swim bait with Panoptics going first time through a spot. That way I just know, I can tell how the fish react to that bait if they're chasing it. Obviously if they're eating it, we're gonna know what they are, but if they're just looking at it and won't eat it or won't chase or anything, then I know they're big crappie or gar. That's the crazy thing about these Texas lakes is you don't freaking know what some of the species are sometimes because it's such a mixture of different stuff. But this spot up here definitely had some fish in a tree, so we'll see what they are pretty quick. I think get lined up. We don't have too much of a wind today. It's beautiful. It's 72 degrees or something outside. Cannot complain with how the weather's helping us today. There's actually some fish up there sitting next to the old tires. Wish I could have a camera going on Panoptics the whole time. We're actually, I know you guys request that all the time because you love when we put Panoptics footage in, but we're working on something right now that we're going to be able to get it added. It can be super hard to get that footage recording, even though there is a record feature, but it likes to lag, and so I can't see what the hell's going on my screen. If Cole's recording, he's standing right over the top of it, so I can't see the screen. That also isn't good. There's just a lot of things that make it a headache, but I have something coming soon that's gonna make it much easier. You know what, I'm actually gonna throw the Henkel over the top of that. The way this brush pile is set up, let me show it to you guys. Pan over to it quick, get it a little bit better. But you can see there's some bigger fish. That's the pile. They might be crappie, some of them, but I about guarantee some of those are bass. Those marks are, a lot of those marks are way too big to be just little craps. So we're gonna get it about 60 feet away. We're gonna bomb the Henkel out about 75 feet or so. Maybe, yeah, that was about 80. I got this thing weighted to sink pretty slowly, but this brush pile comes up to 10 foot below the surface. So you always got to think these fish can see about 3 times further in the water than we can. So that's my general rule of thumb anyways. I can see 2 to 3 feet, they can see 6 to 9 feet. And I always like to, when I come up to a good spot like this, give them the damn juice the first time through. I don't want to throw a damn Ned rig in there. I want to throw something that mama's going to come up and eat. And if these aren't bass in this brush pile, and it's starting to look like they're crappie the closer we get, especially since none of them came out to follow the old Henkel, we're gonna blast on the big engine to the next spot, get back behind it, do some more scanning, see if we can find some. Really thought that would be a good fish there. At least we'd come look at it. So that makes me really think that they're craps. See if the line through does anything for us. Oh, they are on this thing. Cannot believe they wouldn't come after the Henkel. Let's see if they can get a little competitive over it, but that line through has been, first 2 spots has already had the couple big ones to look at it, but there's so much bait balls right here that that's got to be why they're set up in some of these treetops. We're about to find out pretty quick if they eat this. There we go. There we go. We are hooked up. What do we got? God, he felt big. What the hell? Starting with little Chuck. Beautiful little fish, just totally the wrong size. Thanks for paying, bud. Didn't even see him on the screen, he was so small. I was like, how'd I get a bite? I don't know, none of those giant marks I'm seeing even moved. It was their baby. Oh well. We're off to a start. Got the A-rig with blades. We have 2 1/4 ounce heads with 6 cent swim baits, Divine swim baits. Those are 6 cents jig heads too. 3 with a 1/4 size, no, an 1/8 size. I don't know why that was so hard for me right there to talk. How is it even possible that my drag was that loose? We got bait getting blowed in here. All right, I might have found something finally. Freaking set the hook. I mean, what would I have even been doing with a braided reel that it was that loose? We might have found some. I don't know how big they are. I've seen some pretty damn big blow-ups though. They are in 2 feet of water over the top of some of this eelgrass. They must have some shad pushed in here because I'm seeing them below bait. I just haven't seen what the bait is. I'll have to put a fluke on or something. Giant. Oh. Yeah, that's what we've been after all day today. Might be a 10-pounder. freaking monster. Yeah, bud. Look at that fish go. Crazy thing is, this isn't even the biggest damn mark I've seen in this pile. Oh, come here, girl. Oh my goodness. Look at that fish. That is an absolute freak. I mean, that's a 8+ for sure. I don't know what she's bleeding from. Just the stress, I guess. Hook's right up here in the top of the mouth. Look at that mouth. Freakzilla. What an absolute tank. And get her on the scale and get her back in. $8.26. Hell yeah, boy. All right, big old girl. Time to get you back. Swimming down in your brush pile. Look at that big old tongue. Jeez, this fish is crazy. Go on, get it. Woo! Well, I'm going right back up to that brush pile because there was 2 or 3 more Donkey Kongs in there. We only got probably an hour and a half of daylight, maybe 2 hours of daylight. Plenty of time to get things cracking here. Well, my Panoptics decided it doesn't want to work anymore, so currently getting some things rigged up to go back up shallow. It's pretty tough to fish these the way I like to fish them. These brush piles offshore without it, so that's fine. We got our biggin. I think we can get a biggin up shallow though too, so I'm gonna tie on, I think, a tackle frog. These fish are pretty actively chasing bait. We can cover more water with that thing, throwing it up, you know. If you guys aren't familiar with it, I'll show it to you in a second. The Sprinker, it's called. Just redid the entire boat yesterday. Got everything swapped because me and Zark are about to fish a tournament in a couple days up in the Ozarks. So gonna be a little bit different fishing than what we're doing out here in Texas. Of course, I feel like in Texas, I was just telling Cole this the other day, and Zark for that matter, that every time I film a video or go fishing, it's something completely different and I have to redo all my tackle in my boat. If I'm bank fishing, cat fishing, saltwater, all these different types of lakes I'm going to in my boat, and I end up having to freaking prep every day, like hours, day before, night of, morning of. This morning, yesterday, I worked on my boat for like 6 hours on a Sunday. Today I had to get up, I don't know, 2.5 hours before I left, just so I'd have an opportunity to fish and get here at a decent time. Freaking never ending. Too much shit. Could have just come out here with my line through, right? Really too bad you guys didn't see a couple of the other ones that bit, because they were of that same caliber. I'm excited to come back here in the winter when those fish are even heavier, but little white flush on there. The water, like I said, is kind of tannic, so I think that white color is going to stand out good. All right, you dickheads. I have so many rods out right now, it's so funny. Please eat my frog, it would be so fun. Some big old swirls. These fish are still in here chasing. I just saw one come up and feed up in the pads up there on the edge where all this eelgrass is mixed in. You guys can't see it. Oh my God, that's a big one. That was a really good fish. That was bigger than anything I've seen blowing bait. But there's eelgrass right under the surface here. That's what these fish are sitting in. That's what I hate about this frog, is you miss so many fish to bite. I do anyway. You guys probably don't. Oh, my frog sinks now. How fun. Oh, he's pierced his skin. Piece of crap. Oh, and the weight came out. Wow. That's why he's sinking. What the hell? Is that a freaking gar that did that? Did you guys see him wake? Oh my God, that was crazy. I'm seeing bass leave the water to eat bait, like just then. So I know they're not all gar, but that one sure waked it like a gar. Light one out here. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see my phone at all. Let's check the battery life. 13 is the number of the big one, the 36 volt. It is, can you guys see that right there? 89%. Let's check the starter after I ran it all day. Number 9. With Panoptics, I don't know if you can see that. 100%. You bet. Well, we only ended up with one old slaunch, but we can't freaking complain about that ever, right? This is a tough time of the year to fish, so going out and being able to catch a giant like that, I don't hate it. I didn't elaborate too much on the lithiums. I hope you guys don't think I'm like lying and it didn't actually use 9% of the trolling motor battery and none of the starting battery, but that's really what it said after a full day fishing. And I fished 4 hours before I actually went to that lake. I went to another lake that sucked, so I used it there too. Once again, time will tell if it holds up. Right now, I'm getting a bunch of gear ready, tackle ready. Me and Cole are going to meet up with Zark for some tournament fishing. We are fishing for $1 million in a tournament. I'm so freaking jacked. We've done some pre-fishing. We're ready. Can't wait to give you this experience up in the Ozarks. It's gonna be so much fun. I'll catch you guys at Bull Shoals next. Thanks for watching this one. I'm out of here. Peace.